Hi students and family members. In our most recent videos here in Lesson 2, we talked about rounding and how important it was to round a number first before you actually estimate and solve. And we went over all of the different steps of rounding we've practiced. Now we're going to start rounding numbers that don't stop in the same place value. As you can see in our first example, we have a multiplication question, and this number goes into the hundreds, but the multiplier is only a one-digit number. In example 2, we have a subtraction problem, but this number goes into the 10,000s, and we have a number that goes into the thousands. I've been telling the students, but we haven't had any examples of rounding to the highest shared place value. So let's start with number 2, because number 2, actually, you can have a highest shared place value, which is the thousands. You're not just going to round to the highest total place value. You want to round to the highest shared place value. In other words, the value in each number that they share, which is the highest. I'm still underlining, I'm still circling the number on the right, I'm still singing the chant and then changing all of the numbers that are circled to the right to zeros and we'll be all right. But the underlined number is the first step, and I've got to determine that based on the highest shared place value. In this example, the thousands is the highest place value that both 54,871 and 7,632 share. So I'm going to sing the chant about the circled song to change the underlined number. This number 8 in the circle is 5 or above, so I give this 4 a shove to a 5. I keep the other 5 the same, so my new number is 55,000. That's because step 4 tells me change the circled number and everything to the right to a 0 and I'll be all right. I still need to round this bottom number after I just completed rounding the top number. So again, after I underline and circle, I sing the chant about the circled number and change the underlined number. This circled number is a 5 or above, so I give this 7 a shove to an 8. I've got to make sure I line up the place values perfectly. And then anything circled into the right becomes a 0, and I'll be all right. I'm now ready to subtract because I round first. It's not asking me for the actual answer. It wants to know the rounded answer. 0 minus 0 and 0 minus 0, 3 times 0 minus 0. I cannot do 5 minus 8, so I must take 10 out of the 10,000s place, making this 15,000 minus 8. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Don't forget to bring down that 4, which gives me my total answer of 47,000. Moving on to number 3. Once again, these numbers do not have the same exact place value spots, so I have to round both of the numbers to the highest shared place value, which in this case is the hundreds. The highest shared place value is always the highest place value of the number with the least amount of place values, which in this case would be the hundreds. Underline the hundreds, circle the number to the right in the tens, and then sing the chant. This is a 4 or below, so I leave the number 1, go. Anything circled and to the right becomes a 0, and you will be all right. So now I'm ready to round 74,904 to the highest shared place value of 136. Underline the 9 in the hundreds because that's the highest shared place value. Circle the place value in the tens. Then sing the chant. A 0 is a 4 or below, so I leave the 9 go. I cannot forget about the 74,000. But then I keep the 9 the same, and anything circled and to the right becomes a 0, and you'll be all right. So I can now subtract this problem. 0 minus 0 is 0, 0 minus 0 is 0, 9 minus 1 is 8. Bring down my 4, bring down my 7, and I've got the answer 74,800. The same can be said for an addition problem. This one goes to the 100,000s, this one goes to the 10,000s, which means my highest shared place value is the 10,000s. I underline the number from both of these numbers in the 10,000s, that's step 1. I circle the numbers to the right, that is step 2, and now I'm ready to sing the chant. This number is a 5 or above, so I'm going to give this 9 a shove, which actually shoves this 8 to a 9. That's because when I change this 9 to a 10, it's going to bump this 8 to a 9, and then everything else will become a 0, making this problem very friendly. This is a 2. It's a 4 or below, so I leave the 1 in the 10,000s go. Then anything circled and to the right becomes a 0, and you will be all right. Keep in mind, we've changed our operation to addition. Still zeros help me solve problems in estimation easily. 1 plus 0 is 1, then 9 gives me 910,000. Now you may be wondering why I skipped multiplication problems. That's because even though we typically round addition and subtraction to the highest shared place value, in a multiplication problem we are not going to round the single-digit number. We are only going to round the multi-digit number. And anytime you get a multi-digit number, you go to the highest place value, underline it, circle the number to the right, sing the chant 5 above, give this 4 a shove to a 5, and anything circled and to the right becomes a 0. You'll be all right. Plug 500 times 3 into a calculator, and you will get 1,500. Same can be said for question number 5. I have a single-digit multiplier. I do not round that up to 10. I leave it at 7. It's going to be most reasonable then. So I underline my highest place value in the multi-digit number, circle the number to the right, sing the chant about the circled number, changing or keeping the same the underlined number. In this case, the 1 is a 4 or below, so I leave the 3 go. Anything circled and to the right becomes a 0. The 7 remains the same. Plug it into a calculator, and you are going to get 21,000. Example number 6 has a 2-digit multiplier, which in this case means I can round to the highest shared place value, which is the tens, which means I am rounding both of these numbers. 4 or below, the circled number tells me leave this 4 go. 5 or above tells me to give the underlined number a shove. Circled and to the right becomes a 0. You'll be all right. Ready to multiply. 40 times 20, 800. So you can see in these 6 examples, whenever you have a multi-digit number that doesn't match exactly with the other, you still multiply, or round, I should say, by the highest shared place value. When you are multiplying and it's a 1-digit multiplier, you leave that 1-digit number alone and round the bigger number. When it's a 2-digit multiplier, you round both numbers. Hope this video helps.